Good morning, Enid. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday, May 3rd, on a rainy Thursday morning. We're live streaming around the globe at enidtv.org and also coming to you live in high definition here on Channel 12 and 112. We appreciate you joining us. We hear that rain. Doesn't that sound good?
It does.
We need all the kind of water. Thank you for joining us for the next 30 minutes of news, weather, and sports. We encourage you to grab a cup of coffee and join us as we present Good Morning Enid to you. And again, thanks for joining us. It's time to rise and shine, everyone.
Good morning, Enid. Thanks again for joining us today. It looks like it's still raining out, and let's take a look at that bus stop forecast to see what else is going to happen today. Looks like it's going to stay until about 10 o'clock, and then it's going to become mostly cloudy this afternoon. It's about 66 degrees currently and going to get up to a high of 85, so it'll be pretty nice out later today. And tonight's low is 54 degrees, but unfortunately the winds are 20 to 30 miles an hour, so not that great, but at least we got some rain this morning.
So if it's raining this morning and it's going to be 85, does that mean it's going to be humid?
I would assume so.
I would assume really bad humidity. So,
But don't feel too bad. I mean, this weekend looks like it's going to be great. It's going to be in the 70s, 80s, mostly sunny and sunny, so it's going to be perfect. The winds are not that bad, actually. I wouldn't even count on those winds, really. So it looks like a perfect weekend to do just about anything.
very good. Sarah, you did good on the weather. Weekend really looks good. You know, a lot of weekend events. There's always weekend events, and Erin will talk about that in just a moment. Let's look at the radar. Again, you probably hear some rain coming down. We had some storms that passed through the area last night, and did you have any hail at your house? We had some hail at my house last night.
I didn't
Had
have
quarter size. I think we'll have a picture of that in just a moment. But here we can take a look at the radar so you can see that it will move out within a couple hours. And but anyway, we need the water, we need the rain, and we're grateful for that. Penn, thank you for putting that up there. Let's look at some of the statewide temps this morning here at 7:32, and all the way down to Tatum's, Oklahoma, 69 degrees, and Three Sands at 65, the northeastern part of the state, mid-60s. Bryan's Corner, I hadn't heard of Bryan's Corner, so that's a little geography fact for us today here in Oklahoma. So you can see it's a little bit cooler out of the northwest. Right here in Enid, it's holding steady at 66, as Erin said, with some rain coming down. So, well, school time. School's going to be over in a couple weeks, I guess. Yeah. I know some of the universities have graduation. UCO has graduation Friday and Saturday, so I'm sure Oklahoma State and OU doing the same thing. But the Enid schools are still in session, right?
They are, yeah, but I know that there'll be some graduations towards the end of the month as well, so it's definitely that time. But there's still school, so let's bring up our lunch, because if there's school, there's food. So for Thursday, we have soft tacos, lettuce, cheese, steamed corn, oatmeal raisin cookie, apple slices, and milk.
And on Friday, we have a ham and cheese croissant, pork and beans, fresh carrots, pickle spears, diced peaches, and milk.
I wonder what food looks like on Saturday. I'm not sure about Thursday or Friday. We might ought to check out what Saturday looks like. So, well, good morning, Enid. Again, thank you for joining us on this Thursday, May 3rd. Can you believe it's May? 7:34, and it's time for us to get caught up on the news that took place and some of the sports that took place overnight. And we turn to one person, and that's the bow tie guy, Derrick Silas, with the Oklahoma Minute.
Tuesday, the first tornado of 2018 in Oklahoma was reported, according to the National Weather Service. It was caught on video near Buffalo in Harper County. It sets the record for the latest day of a year for a first tornado in this state since records were kept in 1950. Yesterday, Boy Scouts of America announced a name change effective February 2019 as Scouts BSA for its Boy Scouts program because of girls soon entering the ranks. Fun fact, in Oklahoma, originally, the normal school, called the normal school, University of Central Oklahoma, was Oklahoma's first public school of higher education. It began as a teacher's college. And on this date in history in 1999, a total of 74 tornadoes touched down across Oklahoma and Kansas in less than 21 hours, 46 dead, 800 injured, more than 8,000 homes damaged or destroyed, and total property damage of $1.5 billion. And that's the Oklahoma Minute.
Thank you very much, Derrick, for that information. I am very excited that I'm going to be getting my storm shelter installed next Tuesday. So thank you, Derrick. We do want to take the time to remind you, if there's anything you guys want to share with us, any comments, questions, any photos, please email us at gme@enid.org. Our Holstein cows are always there faithfully waiting for
Yeah, they're
your
at the
mail.
mailbox. And we have a couple of pictures that were sent in last night. One, I believe, was the rainbow that was starting to develop in the southeast part of the community after the storm. You can see how everything to the east was, with all the rain and sun is out. And then there's some of the quarter-size hail that was in southeast part of the community. So appreciate your pictures and send them to the Holsteins.
Yes, yes. And if you're looking for any great plans this weekend, since we got some great weather, here is Erin with what's happening.
Thanks, Sarah. So since Sarah did say it's going to be beautiful out, we have some pretty great things happening this weekend. Our first thing is the 86th Annual Tri-State Music Festival, which actually started yesterday and runs until Friday. It's at the Ottawa Carnival at Oakwood Mall, running from 6 to 10 tonight and 6 to 11 tomorrow. The tickets are $3.50 or 10 for $30. Tomorrow night, actually, there is the $1 Million Parade in downtown Enid associated with this. The Elementary Honor Band concert is also tomorrow in the Enid High School Auditorium, and the grand concert in the CNBC Ballroom is also tomorrow night. And this is where students from all over the region converge and compete in this competition. So if you want to see some great student musicians who are competing to win different things, definitely go check this out because there's some really talented musicians at this. Then tomorrow is also First Friday of May, so First Friday is tomorrow night in downtown Enid from 6 to 9 p.m. There'll be a bunch of different food trucks, Joanne's Barbecue, Kona Ice, Muty Q's, Racks on Racks, Scoops Smoke Wagon, Tasty Beats, and Wicked Hangry are all going to be there, and there's also some great live music going on. Jake Bowers, Keegan Toohey, and David Toll, 12-Pack Poets, A Touch of Sax, Witness 731, and 4 for Him are all going to be there. And if you want to see anything that's open late, definitely check out their website and see if different stores you want to go to or restaurants are open late because of this. And finally, on Saturday, Enid Roller Girls vs. Tulsa County Roller Derby is this Saturday at the Skate Town Enid from 7 to 9 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. Tickets are $10 in advance or if you're military and $12 at the door. Kids 12 and under are free. The proceeds are going to Sierra Letterman / Rose Rage Recovery Fund because one of the roller derby sisters from Tulsa was struck by a drunk driver and is working on recovering. So definitely go see that and watch some really fun roller girls, which I think Steve has actually met some of these roller girls. So definitely go check this out. And that's what's happening.
Yeah, we've had the roller derby girls, easy for you to say, as guests on the show, and they know how to skate, that's for sure.
do.
So, well, again, thank you for joining us. Good morning, Enid. It's 7:38, and weather today, we've got some rain for the next few hours, much needed rain here in the community, holding steady at 66 degrees. However, once the rain moves all to the east, it's going to be rather warm and humid today with a high around 85 degrees, but typical May weather. Well, we have a special guest because May 3rd is a special day all across the United States, and we'll talk about both topics right after this. Good morning, Enid. Thank you for joining us and staying with us on this rainy Thursday morning. Very seldom do we ever say that, Sarah. Rainy Thursday morning. Oh, it's so great to hear the rain coming down and have it on the wheat fields and everything else. Working our way up to 85 degrees today. Well, as you saw on the video just a few moments ago, May 3rd is National Day of Prayer and celebrated in a variety of different ways across the United States. And our special guest this morning is the pastor from North Garland Church of Christ, Erik Granberg. Erik, it's good to see you.
Good to meet you.
Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah,
on the video, to get you on the set, we had some information about the National Day of Prayer, some of the historical pieces, if you will.
Sure.
My understanding is that President Truman signed it into law for the presidents or for the country to celebrate way back in 1952.
That's right.
What do you know from the, not the Enid side of things, but from the U.S. side of things about the National Day of Prayer?
Sure.
If you could tell us about.
Well, it's been going since 1952, and so that's a number of years, but every year the president sets aside a day to encourage the people to spend time in prayer, meditate towards the Lord, and each year the presidents choose to participate in various ways. But as I was thinking about it, our country has done different things to show the importance of faith. And so we have it on our money, in God we trust. In our Pledge of Allegiance, we say we're one nation under God. And to me, this is just another opportunity for us to set aside time to focus on putting our trust in God, rather than the things of this world and our government, than the things that we would have. And so I see this as a call for us as a country and individuals to come and bring our needs before God, ask Him to intervene in our lives, in our country. And you think back to biblical times when Esther called the people to pray, to fast. Daniel prayed 3 times. The early church got together and prayed. And this is a good thing. It's a reminder to go before the God.
Very good. I know it's, like you said, it's such an important thing, and it's so awesome to know that our country actually recognizes this. But can you tell us of the Enid National Day of Prayer? What happens in Enid during this day?
Well, we've been doing it for a number of years. I don't know exactly how long, but each year kind of has its own different flavor. Last year, we did it at the World Harvest Church in the evening. This year, we decided to bring it back downtown to the gazebo courthouse, kind of do it at the heart of Enid. It's going to be at 12 o'clock, from 12 to 12:45. Hopefully, people
just a
can...
few minutes after the rain stops.
Exactly.
Right?
Rain's supposed to stop about 10 o'clock, so come on down. We'll enjoy a good time together. But hopefully, it'll be a time so people can come on their lunch break, take a few minutes, spend some time in prayer with other believers. And so this year, Sean Gallagher is going to lead us in a few songs of worship. And then we have different people from the community who are going to be leading us in prayer for the government, for those who provide safety, for our schools, for churches, different components that we have.
Erik, we realize that the event is all about prayer, but is there a theme for the event?
There is.
Is there a so-called theme through the years that you try to stay with, or let's say for this year, what is that theme?
There is a group that picks out a theme each year for the National Day of Prayer. And so this year they picked the theme of unity. It comes from Ephesians chapter 4, verse 3, and it says, "Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace." And if you watch the news, both in our country and in the world, peace is something that's needed. Unity is something that's needed. And so that's the theme for everybody in the nation. And then each individual group will focus on that in a different way.
This might be a question, catch you off guard, and I don't mean for it to, but you said this national group came up with this theme. Can you elaborate what the national group is and where they're at, or is there...
Well, there's a committee, I guess if that's the best term, that
Sure.
And they have a website that helps to organize it, and they try to encourage groups to meet in various places in cities and provide advertising if needed for them, and they help pick a theme just to provide some direction. It's a nonprofit group, and that's about as much as I know about it.
This sounds like a really great event, but it also sounds like there's a lot of people participating. Would you be able to tell us who is all participating in this event?
Sure. Yeah, I've talked to several people in the community, some of those who are going to participate. Mark McAdow from Willowview Methodist, he's been helping me to organize this. Then Sean Gallagher from Enid First Assembly that I mentioned, Reverend Garland Hall from St. Stephen's, Butch Phillips is one of the sheriff chaplains here. I've got an attorney, Caleb Hennig. Renee Haymaker is a principal at Hillsdale Christian School. She is not able to be here today. I'm on the board there, so hopefully I can fill in for her as needed. But Brent Price, who's on the board of directors at YMCA, Jonathan Waddell from City Commissioner, and then Lavina Cohen from the Yadel Messianic Church. They're all each going to be saying a prayer for a different component, a different theme. Going to do a chain prayer together.
Eric, if someone's not familiar with, say, the Enid National Day of Prayer event, and they would say, well, who's leading this event? How would you respond to that? You've listed already half dozen pastors and just different individual business leaders in the community. But if somebody sits back and goes, well, who leads this thing? How would you respond to that?
Well, I would say this year that I'm helping to facilitate that.
Okay.
I'm the president of the Enid Ministerial Alliance. And so each year we kind of take charge of organizing this event. And so I've been making calls and doing that. And I've been working with Mark on that and appreciate his work. But so each year it kind of changes as who's in charge of that. But the Enid Ministerial Alliance has taken the lead on that.
Okay. Well, we know Mark McAdow. He was pastor in Oklahoma City at the First Methodist Church right next to when the Murrah building blast that took place, and has since moved to Enid. So, okay.
For those of you, for those that are out there watching the show this morning and are hearing about this event maybe for the first time and want to get involved, is there any way that they can still participate in anything that you can suggest for them to still get involved?
Sure. Well, I'd say first, just come on down to the courthouse gazebo at noon today. Again, the rain should be gone, so it'll be all right. But we do have the individuals who are going to lead us in prayers, but we're also going to have a time for individual prayer, just personally, and then a moment for groups of 2 or 3 to gather together and pray for unity, and then for things that are going on in your individual life. So come on down, participate. You'll get to meet some other believers, maybe some that you know, maybe some are new. And so that's the way that I would encourage you to come on down today.
Good morning, Enid. It's 7:48 on this Thursday, May 3rd. And again, it's National Day of Prayer event across the country and maybe across the globe in some areas, but also right here in Enid, Oklahoma. Our special guest this morning is the pastor of North Garland Church of Christ, Erik Granberg. Erik, tell us a little bit of the history part, if you can, on the Enid event. I know you've been involved just a handful of years, but what historical perspective do you have of this event? I know your friend Brad Mendenhall was involved previous years, but do we know how far it's gone back?
I do not know how far it's gone back. I know for a number of years it has, maybe up to 20. I think they've had one pretty much every year. I know it's been at the gazebo. Last year it was at World Harvest, where Brad is a minister at. But beyond that, I really don't know much.
Okay. Well, you could have made up a good answer, and we would have gone with it. But
well, being a preacher, I try to be honest and trustworthy and not make things up that especially are caught on camera and live broadcast.
Yeah, very good.
That's really good. Would you be able to tell us a little bit of the function of the Ministerial Alliance?
Sure. Really, the Ministerial Alliance is it's an opportunity for churches to work together. We share a common bond in faith, and sometimes we can get very caught up in our own ministries and what we're doing individually, and sometimes forget that there are other believers who are doing good work in Enid. And so the Ministerial Alliance is an opportunity for churches, for ministers, various ministries around Enid to get together and have breakfast together, have lunch together, hear about other work that is going on in this community. And it goes along well with the theme for the National Day of Prayer this year of unity. We're doing everything we can to maintain a bond of peace and unity together.
Eric, if you would, in case somebody just joined us here in the last few minutes, can you just kind of summarize what's going to take place at 12 noon today down at the downtown square?
Sure.
You said that numerous people are going to be praying, but kind of summarize what will take place.
Sure. So if you happen to come down to the courthouse gazebo today, Thursday, at noon, there will be no rain, because I'm told the radar says it will go away. But at noon, Sean Gallagher is going to start us off with a few songs. I'll introduce and welcome everybody, and then we'll have various members from the community pray for themes of our businesses, our schools, the churches, for unity. And then there'll be a time of prayer together, just individuals to pray, and then for 2 or 3 people to gather around together. So come on down today at noon. We'll be done by 12:45. We wanted to give people an opportunity to be there on their lunch breaks, but also have a chance to get a bite to eat before they go back to work.
I don't know if we have a phone number. Do we have a phone number to put on the screen? Maybe not. We just kind of had a list. I didn't know if there was a contact information or not, but I guess they could reach out to you at North Garland Church of Christ if they had a question. What's that number, Pastor?
Well, I should know the church number since I do work there, but I had to write it down. So feel free to give me a call at North Garland Church of Christ. It is 580-237-4658. In the time of technology, everything is saved in my cell phone. And so I know my wife's number, I know my number, and that's about it. Everything else I have saved.
You know a lot more than I do.
Yeah. It's 7:51. Our very special guest today, Erik Granberg, the pastor at North Garland Church of Christ here in Enid, Oklahoma, talking about the National Day of Prayer event right here, 12 noon in Enid, Oklahoma.
And if you just joined us this morning, thank you for joining us. And in case you missed it earlier, here is Derrick Silas with the Oklahoma Minute.
Thank you, Sarah. Tuesday, the first tornado of 2018 in Oklahoma was reported. It was caught on video near Buffalo in Harper County. It sets the record for the latest day of a year for a first tornado in the state since the records were kept in 1950. And yesterday, Boy Scouts of America announced a name change effective February 2019. Here's a fun fact. University of Central Oklahoma was originally called the Normal School, and it was the Oklahoma's first school of higher education. On this day in history, in 1999, a total of 74 tornadoes touched down across Oklahoma and Kansas in less than 21 hours, leaving much damage. And that's the Oklahoma Minute. Now here's Kevin for upcoming events at the Central National Bank Center.
Welcome back inside the Central National Bank Center. I'm the General Manager, Kevin Brisky, and as you can see from the music stand, it's Tri-State time. This Thursday and Friday being the grand concert Friday night right here in the Grand Ballroom in the Central National Bank Center. Come and check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. The students put a lot of effort and work into the concert, and it'll be a lot of fun. Part of a First Friday festivity, so check that out this Friday night here at the Grand Ballroom of the Central National Bank Center. A lot of other things happening here at the CNB Center, starting with an announcement we made earlier this week. Ronnie Millsap will be coming to the Central National Bank Center, and that's going to be on September 23rd. Tickets go on sale this Friday. They start at $39, there's $49 and $69, but as we know, not a bad seat in the house at the CNB Center. Ronnie Millsap, 40 #1 country songs, third most of any artist, so pretty exciting to have him here at the CNB Center. Again, that'll be September 23rd. Then a little closer to now, May 18th, Ron White will be on the stage at the CNB Center. Comedian known for his I would say cigar smoking, scotch drinking antics, once part of the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Gonna be a great night of laughs, a great way to kick off the spring. And that starts, our tickets are $40 and $55 for that one. Not a bad seat in the house, and that'll be a night of fun. Then in June, we have Easton Corbin, a young up-and-coming country singer. That's going to be a ton of fun, and that will be, tickets are $29, $39, $49 for that one. It's been a while since we've had a young country artist here in Easton Corbin, is just that, and that's going to be a fun night in June. And then on June 30th, what a great show coming up. Newsboys. You take the 4 new members, the 2 original members, put them together, and that's what you're going to have on June 30th. It's the Newsboys United Tour. And that's not only a great night of music, but if you've never taken the family to a show here at the C&B Center before, that's the one, because they put on a great performance. Not just the music, but everything they do on stage. There's a catwalk built in. Is going to be a ton of fun. We're really, really looking forward to that to kind of wrap up the month of June. So a lot going on here at the C&B Center, and 2 more announcements to come, one Monday, one Tuesday next week, so stay tuned. Until then, I'll send it back in the studios with you, Steve.
Thank you, Kevin. Good job as usual. I would like to remind you that we have some budget meetings that get underway at 5 o'clock today here at the City of Enid. When we get to the month of May, that's when we roll into budget meetings to determine how to spend funds and for the upcoming year. And Thursday here today at 5 o'clock, we'll get underway. We'll have a meeting on Monday and also next Thursday, and then maybe one on the 15th. So busy times for the city councilors and the mayor as they get together with all departments and figure out our budget. So let's take a look. I think you promised some great weather for the 3-day forecast, Sarah.
I sure did. Here it is. It's going to be mostly sunny, at least 78 or in the 80s Saturday and Sunday. So it's definitely going to be a great weekend. We see no showers and no high winds. So yes, the sky's the limit this weekend,
Yeah,
everybody.
looks really nice. And I forgot to mention that on Friday, at 10 o'clock on Friday morning at Convention Hall, there will be the Oklahoma Department of Transportation. ODOT is having a public forum. If you want to hear about roadway projects in the area, the director will be showing up. That's Mike Patterson. Also, Roland Peterson, our state senator that represents District 19, represents Garfield County along with some other counties. They'll be hosting the public forum. It's absolutely free, 10 a.m. this Friday at Convention Hall, so you want to keep that in mind as well. If you're able to stay with us all the way up to 8 o'clock this morning, we had the opportunity to visit with Miss Rodeo, Oklahoma. And the young lady's name is Taylor Spears from Cleveland, Oklahoma. Had a chance to visit. There she is. Taylor's a very sharp young woman going to Oklahoma State University, and she's also representing Oklahoma as Miss Rodeo, Oklahoma. That interview's at 8 o'clock this morning.
And if you're looking to adopt a pet
Yes.
anytime soon, we do definitely want to bring Charlet to introduce you to the pet of the week.
Good morning! Today we have Emily. Emily is about a 1-year-old female shepherd mix. She's living in Penn 24, and she is ready for a really active and playful family to come and get her. She loves to play and jump around. She's really smart and could use some training though, but she'd make a really great friend. So come by and visit Emily. Yeah, there you go, good girl. That's cute.
It looks like Emily needs a big yard.
She sure does.
Before we leave this morning, again, our special guest, Pastor Erik Granberg from North Garland Church of Christ. Erik, you grew up, parents as missionaries, and you grew up not in Muskogee, Oklahoma, but in Kenya.
That's right.
Tell us
Grew up
about
on the other side of the world. Spent 10 years in Kenya. Got to experience a different part of the creation that we live in, and it was a wonderful experience. Get to see my parents as ministers, teaching people about God.
And now they're back in the U.S. as well, and what's their work now?
My dad works at a ministry called Kairos Church Planting, and they are helping to start new congregations throughout the country here.
Very good. Erik, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it very much. National Day of Prayer event, 12 noon downtown today, and hope to see you there. Good morning, Enid. Thanks for joining us. Have a good day.